Thank you. God, it was a great night of fights. I really enjoyed just sitting there watching them, and to have a finals that we can put on the calendar now for January 26th at the LA Forum. It's a good feeling because I felt like it took a little bit to get here, and now we have the finalists. And I told Bader and I told Fedor, I said, "Well, I'm sorry you have to train through Christmas, but it'll be worth it at the end." So we'll finally have a heavyweight champion, and we'll crown them on the 26th. Let's open it for questions.
Is Fedor in the final the ideal scenario for you walking into January?
I feel like as a promoter, like whoever wins the matchup wins, and that's it. I mean, if he would have lost, Chael is a great promoter himself, and that would have been a great fight with him and Bader. Now, both of them, I think, would have been interesting matchups, but anytime Fedor steps into the cage, it's a special, historic moment, and I think we'll have another piece of history on the 26th of January. I'll tell you, I think they both look good. I think Chael can take a punch. He took some shots, and I tell you, I have not seen those two guys scrap like that in a while, and they're going at it. In fact, Herschel said to me, he goes, "Is Fedor mad at Chael? Like, did something happen to him?" I said, "Well, they're trying to fight for the same prize to get to the finals." But in all seriousness, it's Chael. Show me why he is who he is, and Fedor, he just stepped up, and I think that it was a great win for him.
Any more questions? Scott,
Mhm.
Scott, this week Chael went on a show, got a debate whether Fedor's in his prime. Do you think Fedor made a statement that he's still in his prime?
You know what? I'll tell you, I love the countdown shows that our guys have been doing. And when I watch those countdown shows myself as a fan, and when I saw him hitting the mitts, I'm like, man, this guy still has that twitch speed. He's so fast. He's so explosive. He hits hard, and that's something that's not going to go away. The speed might go away, but the power doesn't go away. But the speed didn't. He still has that speed, So to me, it's pretty impressive, man. And I think the reason why is that he just has not stopped training. He's always in shape, and he's always trained, and always, like he's never stopped training for long periods of time. So, it's been a great journey for him. You guys know how, the history of Fedor has been. It's been a great ride, and to me, he's the greatest of all time. And he's got a worthy adversary on the 26th. Ryan Bader showed me that he could control a big man, and do what he needs to do to win. And he's going to try to do that to Fedor, and does Fedor have some tricks up his sleeve? And we'll see. It's going to be an interesting fight.
Scott, when you guys were drawing up the brackets,
Mhm.
is this a possibility when you were looking at it? Is that one of the fights that you considered that could be final?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that a lot of people felt that Ryan Bader was a favorite to get in on his side, and Fedor as well. But if Frank Mir would have won, I wouldn't have been surprised either. These are big guys throwing big punches, and all it takes is one clip, and it's over. So, in the heavyweight division, you never know.
These back-to-back events seem to be working out well for Bellator. Do you plan on, besides the Hawaii event, working on more in the future?
Well, I don't know if my staff would agree with you, agree with me, but it's been really taxing on the staff, and I'd like to thank them because they did a great job of executing this event and the one last night. I think that our original reason of doing the event so close was we didn't want to give one fighter an advantage over the other, and next week was busy in both buildings, so we had to do it all this weekend. But it's a taxing proposition, but at the end of the day, our guys pulled it off, and if we have to do it again, we will. But that's the reason why we did it. We didn't want a fighter to say, "Oh, he had two more weeks of rest than I did," and he had 2 more weeks of knowing who he's fighting. And so to me, that was the reason why we did it back to back.
What's right here? Czech Congo is now 11-2 for the book. Is he the likely number one contender for the winner of the Grand Prix?
I think we have a couple options there, but Czech has really impressed me his last couple outings, and that's the Czech that I remember from before, and that's the Czech that we've been waiting to see. And for him, I'm really. I told him when I was leaving, when I was coming in here, I said, Czech, I'm really proud of you because you really showed me that you really want it, and you're stepping up, and this is the Czech that we've been expecting. And so, to me, look, we signed Minikov back. right? We have some great heavyweights here already. And Czech's another guy, and then we're gonna just have some great matchups in the future in 2019 in the heavyweight division.
Is there a set date and then you get for this?
Yes, it's January 26th in Los Angeles at the Forum. Yeah.
Scott, any update on the welterweight Grand Prix? Certain dates? We got the matchups and all those dates.
So we just announced the fight December 15th in Honolulu. Well, we had the Alima McFarland fight against Valerie. Machida will be fighting our former champion, Carvalho, at that fight. And Ed Ruth will be fighting Neiman Gracie at that fight. So that will be our second round of the tournament. That fight will be on DAZN. On Saturday night, we announced at a press conference in New York City this past Thursday that on Friday night it'll be on Paramount Live. It'll be Michael Chandler fighting Brett Primus. Frank Mir will fight Javier Ayala. And we'll have 3 more fights added to that. There'll be 2 big tentpole events. And that won't be free for the troops. So we're doing a show called Bellator Salutes the Troops. And it's going to be a great week of festivities in Honolulu. We're going to take all of our top athletes that are not fighting, and we're going to take them to the base and give value back to the men and women that protect this country.
Scott Coker, what would it mean, in your view, if on January the 26th at the Forum, Fedor Emelianenko managed to win the heavyweight Grand Prix at the age of 42? Where would that put him in the pantheon of the greatest mixed martial artists?
I already feel like he's the GOAT. He has nothing to prove. To me, he has nothing to prove. He's doing this because he wants to compete, and he's had some tough opposition. And you know what? If he won the tournament, I'd be happy for him. And I think that this is something he really, really wants. Listen, everybody knows that Fedor's been fighting for a while. He was the king of Pride, and then he fought for me in Strikeforce, and now he's here in Bellator. But he's already proved everything. He's the GOAT, and whatever he does now will just add to the legacy of Fedor.
Did you think tonight, though, that like you said, the way that he tossed Chael off him twice when he was on the bottom, this hand speed, things like that, that were very prominent tonight?
Yeah, he looked like a fresh fighter that wanted it badly. That's what I saw out there. I saw somebody that really wanted to win. And the fight had some great transitions back and forth, some great sweeps and hip throws and it's takedowns. It was just a great fight, and it was action packed. I mean, I really enjoyed watching it.
Scott, there was some reaction online that this fight was fixed. Can you react to that at all?
I mean, come on, that doesn't even deserve a response. I mean, to the people that are saying it. And listen, Chael got clipped. He told me, he said, man, he hit me, and he hit me really good, and he was done. So that's it. But with Chael, you the thing with Tito, he let him go or something. Come on, that's why would you do that? You're a professional athlete, you're a fighter. He wants to continue. He wants to go to the next round of the tournament. So that's just all rubbish.
Why do people move to that so quickly? The fixed line. Why is that, you think?
It's like, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's they see Chael. He's got this character, and then he's. I think he. They just feel like with Chael, it's just like this character. So maybe that's what they're thinking. But if you had Fedor punching you and kicking you and kneeing you like he was doing today, that was real. That was not fake.
Scott, what would you like to see Chael do next? Do you want to see him stay at heavyweight? Do you think he should go back to 205? I know you'll say it's probably ultimately up to him, but what would you like to see him do?
Exactly what you said is going to be up to him. I mean, really, now that the heavyweight tournament, for him is over, he'll have to decide. If he wants to fight at 205, we got some great fights for him at 205, but he's going to have to make that decision. So we'll talk to him. I think he might like that. I think he might like to fight at 205.
He told me earlier this week he thinks he's the number one contender at 205. So he's like, win or lose, I think I'm going to fight Ryan Bader, whether it's for this title or the other.
And that's a fight I would like to see. Right? Maybe that's the fight we can put together in the future. But, let's get through the heavyweight tournament, and then, we'll talk to Chael. But, to me, it makes a lot of sense for him to go to 205 and fight our top guys.
And we saw 50 Cent here again tonight. He was posting over the past couple of days. He wants Habib Nurmagomedov to come fight in Bellator for $2 million. What did you make of all that?
Well, you know what? he called me yesterday and he said, hey, what's going on with this, and I said, well, the commission's involved, and there's a lot of steps to that whole situation, but I'd like to just, I told him, I said, hey, let's just take clear of it, because it really has nothing to do with Bellator. That has to do with the commission and the fighter and the league. So that's their business.
Did that get you any hot water though? Because he's saying that making an offer to come fight for us in Bellator, and I know.
Well, I think what he means by that is like him as like a manager, or like but I mean, 50 Cent has, when he's talking to an athlete, that has nothing to do with Bellator. I can't tell 50 Cent what to say or not say. Believe me. Yep.
Scott, can you explain? You're on the zone now. How has been the public reaction to that, and also what kind of changes should we expect? Perhaps the European cards, when complaint is that they've been delayed. Any chance you won't have delays anymore?
Yeah, there's a, you know what? It's something that we're really, really close to making it perfect. We thought we had it together on the Channel 5 show in San Jose. DAZN's been a great partner. They have been supportive, and they have Japan. And like tonight, the fight was there in Japan because it was on DAZN. I was watching it on DAZN live on my little phone as the fight was going on. It was pretty cool. But when I think about the partnership, it's exciting because the international territories that they want to go to, we would like to go as well. The thing with Channel 5 in the UK, we got cut off, and that was unfortunate. And we didn't have it dialed in for this fight because we have to run commercials, and this could have run over, and then we could have another, Pepe the Pig situation, and I just didn't want to deal with that. So it is on Channel 5 now. It's a 12-hour delay from yesterday and today. But I think, in the next month or so, before December, we will have, this all worked out and dialed. I promised Gareth that we would have it fixed. So, Gareth. Yes, exactly.
Scott.
The 5-round main events. I know I keep asking you, and you keep saying we're going to give us.
Oh, I see. You mean as far as like
last night, for
right?
example.
Mm-hmm.
Any chance you're going to change that to the 5 rounds?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we have talked about, but we have not committed to it. We are having the 5-round main event for the welterweight tournament because Roy's in the tournament and he is our champion. So the title will continue with the champion, whoever the champion is. So it'll be a title fight every time. But as far as the main event being 5 rounds, just to have a main event be 5 rounds, we're still going to hold it to our championship belts.
How many Russians guys we will see in the next year?
You know what? That's a good question. I'm not sure. But, listen, we have a lot of great Russian fighters here in Bellator. Koreshkov is amazing. We have 4 or 5 fighters we just signed from Fedor's group. We have Fedor Emelianenko. We have Tokov, the fighter you saw today. So, we're going to continue our commitment to the Russian athletes.
Scott, was tonight the last fight on Benson Henderson's contract?
I'm not sure. But I thought he looked good. He was entertaining. And, I could probably have Rich or Mike get back to you on that one.
What are your thoughts on the other promotions that DAZN is working with Combate Americas and KSW? Any thoughts of possibly a co-promotion?
You know what? I mean, KSW, we have a good relationship with Martin. We've talked about it. It's just the timing doesn't work because of the fight here would be 2 a.m. over there, just the same thing like the broadcast for Channel 5. So it's tough, but you know what? I think that it's a possibility, but it's not something that's imminent in the future.
One last question.
Alexander, you know what? I think he had some problems getting licensed here in the States, and I don't think that will go away. So I think that he has some issues to take care of. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank